for this? I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم في برنامج قريبا نيوكاسلي. طبعا سمعنا اليوم خبر عاجل متعلق بالكسندر ايزاك لاعب ريال سويداد. معنا مباشرة من نيوكاسل ديف هافري وجايب لنا أخبار إن شاء الله من نيوكاسل. إن شاء الله تكون أخبار جميلة. Welcome lads and lasses to soon to be tuned with Dave Havry from Newcastle. Welcome mate, what you have brings on you?
What you have, Bunny lad? Look, looks like we are close to signing Alexander Isac from Real Sociedad. Record fee of £58 million, which will be about 70, it's about 65 million euros. But yeah, very good deal if it comes off. He's got some talent, so yeah, reckon that could be a good deal. Apparently, Dan Ashworth and Steve Nixon are in Spain at the moment, completing the deal. So it looks like it's going to be a done deal.
Who's in Spain? Who's in Spain?
Dan Ashworth and Steve Nixon.
Steve Nixon, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it looks like a done deal, but nothing on the club website yet. But it's just obviously still going ahead, still in negotiation, but it looks like it's been agreed. So
طبعا يعني مثل ما سمعنا خبر اللاعب الكسندر ايزاك، ديف يقول انه تقريبا السعر 58 مليون. حاليا دان اشورث وستيف نيكسون رئيس كشافة نيوكاسل موجود في اسبانيا علشان يعني يتمون الصفقة، لكن لسه ما صار في اعلان طبعا رسمي. Dave, a lot of fans here in Saudi, يعني they thinking that Isac is instead of Joao Pedro, which I believe is not true, isn't it?
I think it is. I think it's definitely instead of Pedro. I can't see why would go for Pedro and Isac. I think it's
Isac a striker and Joao Pedro number 10.
Yeah, but I don't think Pedro will fit in. I think the reason why they've gone for Isac is they need a striker more because of the problems we've got with Wilson. It looks like Wilson's going to be out again. This is what we said with Wilson. You've got to keep him fit. If you can't keep him fit, so I think Isac could be the forward player we need. I don't think we need another number 10. We've got plenty of players who can play in that position, I think. So I don't think we need another number 10. What we need is a defensive midfielder. We need a strong defensive midfielder.
Have you read this somewhere, or this is just your opinion?
Just my own opinion, mate.
أي طبعا في الآن خلاف إنه
I just can't see we're going for two people who play virtually in the same role. You know.
طبعا ديف يعتقد انه يعني كثير يعتقد ومنهم ديف انه ايزاك مكان جواو بيدرو. انا ما توقعت انا ابدا هذا الشيء، لانه بيدرو وسط وايزاك مهاجم، ففي فرق يعني في الادوار. لكن بعدين شفنا احنا يعني موضوع يعني خلينا نقول رومانو مثلا. رومانو اكد، ورومانو زي ما قلنا في تويتر يعني انه مقرب من ملاك واتفورد، انهم ملاك ايطاليين واصدقاء معهم، فاكيد يعني ما قال هذا الخبر وهير وي جو الا انه متاكد. ديف فابريزيو رومانو says here we go on Joao Pedro. So
yeah, but
he's a friends with the Italian owner of the club.
Yeah, but Romano said here we go, and Eddie Howe said no we don't. You know. So
okay,
you've got to look at the fact that Eddie Howe, if you know, he knows nothing about that deal. He said yesterday in his press conference, he knows nothing about it. He says it was.
Did you think Eddie Howe says no because the deal is not officially done yet?
I just don't think it'll come. Not now. I think they've had to look elsewhere. And if money is supposed to be tight, then if money is supposed to be an issue.
All right. What changed on Joao Pedro? what change?
I think the way that because of what Watford were doing, you know, with
Which?
digging their heels in, trying to get to pay more for a player who wasn't worth as much as what they were asking. Whereas Isac, £58 million represents a very good buy. You know, he's played for Sweden 37 times. He scored 9 goals. And he's played for Real Sociedad, 105 times. And he scored 33 times. So his goal ratio is 1 every 3. So yeah, I think that represents a better option to spend money on than spend money on Pedro, because we're going to have to look at try and bring a defensive midfielder in, our lead, and we can't be throwing 60 million quid at Isaac, 30 million quid at Pedro, and then looking possibly at spending another 40 million pounds on a defensive midfielder. You know, I think they're cutting their losses, they're cutting their cloth accordingly, and I think the Pedro deal will just die a death. I'd be very surprised.
But why nothing being confirmed regarding this denying
with Pedro or with Isac?
بدرو. طبعا احنا ما زلنا يعني نستغرب. يعني ديف يعتقد انه الصفقة جواو بيدرو صار فيها تحول مفاجئ على رأي ديف، مع اني انا الاخبار برضو اللي عندي انه لا، جواو بيدرو موضوع فقط الاضافات، يعني خلاف علامة الدفاعات عموما. او كثير قالوا طبعا ايفرتون انه مهتم في لاعب، وايفرتون راح يجيب 60 مليون من جودسون، لكن هذا الشيء ما نعتقد انه صحيح، لانه ايفرتون وضعه مختلف. اصلا جواو بيدرو يعني ليش راح يفضل ايفرتون؟ يعني لا يلعب في شامبيونز، يعني الشيء الوحيد انه يمكن في مدينة ليفربول، يعني اللي هي اقرب لندن وهذه الامور. لاعب برازيلي ما اعتقد تفرق معاه قريب من لندن ولا بعيد. فجواو بيدرو يعني انا اشوفه اقرب من نيوكاسل، لكن نشوف اليوم تنتهي ان شاء الله، او يجينا خبر قريب. اليوم الاربعاء، لسه باقي عندنا خميس وجمعه قبل نهايه الاسبوع، مولعه ان شاء الله. يعني الايام هذه باخبار ممتازه. Okay, Dave, this is regarding Joao Pedro, regarding Isaac. So what's with Bakita? It's been said that West Ham interested to kidnap him by 30 million.
West Ham have made a bid of 34 million pounds with add-ons. But what you've got with that one is you've got Paquita's agents are in London. I'll just get the story up so I can read it back to you.
Yeah. He's already Bakita agent in London.
Yeah, but it's not particularly for West Ham. They've said that West Ham have made a bid of 40 million euros for Lucas Paquita, which equates to about 34 million pounds. The players' agents are in London and want to conclude a deal with a Premier League club before the end of the window. That's it, with a Premier League club, not just with West Ham. They want to get this deal across the board. That gives us an opportunity to get that deal as well. And I hope that somebody's watching, because we don't want Paquita going to a rival when he's already said that he'd want to come to us. You know, that makes sense to me. We should go and pay the 34 million. Forget about Pedro, pay the 34 million for Paquita and pay the 58 million pounds for Isac.
But Dave, I believe if we want Paquita from beginning, we should get him by now. But he doesn't seem in our top list.
The problem is that he's still got 3 years left on his contract. He's still got 3 years left on his contract, and Lyon are going to want as much money as they possibly can get. And maybe that's what's been scaring people off. You know,
So Lyon want to get rid of him?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think it's a player wanting to get away from Lyon, and that might cause a bit of friction. But
because the release clause is 58, I believe. So if they go, he will go by less than that.
They're talking for 40 million here. West Ham have made a 40 million pound bid, 40 million euro bid. Sorry to say, but I think you know, if we can make a better bid, I think you'd come to us. But we've got to be prepared to make that bid. Are we prepared to make that bid? Like you said, we've been talking about Paqueta since, you know, the end of the season. You know, we've been waiting for Paqueta to come. But I don't know what's holding it up. It might not be a player Eddie Howe wants. It might not fit with Eddie Howe.
Do you think while the Paqueta agent in London, he can meet with the نيوكاسل representative؟ طبعا وكيل اعمال باكيتا في لندن، لكن هذا لا يعني انه ممكن فقط انديه لندن، ممكن يقابل يعني حتى اماندو ميرداد اصلا موجودين في لندن حاليا، فعادي يعني ممكن يكون تفاوض في لندن، او ممكن يتوجه مباشره من لندن طياره خاصه الى نيوكاسل. He can buy jet, private jet or anything. He can come to Newcastle.
Like his agents are in London, but you've also got, like I said, you've got Ashworth and Nixon in Spain. So it would be easier for them to fly into Heathrow or to Gatwick.
Yeah.
ممكن
دان أشورث ونيكسون يروحوا لندن إذا خلصوا من إسبانيا. مو شرط إنه أنا لازم أتقابل وكيل أعمال إنه يتواجد في نيوكاسل، مو شرط. ممكن يكون تفاوض في لندن عشان بعيدا عن الأنظار. But now Dave يعني it's no time for games. Now is the real time. Pay, get the player, or go away.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why the Isac thing, you know, I've always said, when we're ready to announce something, it'll come out, it'll just happen, you know. And I think with the Isac just came out of the blue this morning, out at dinner time, just came out of the blue. Newcastle made this £58 million bid for him, just completely out of the blue.
But there were rumors before about Isaac.
He was a player we were linked with at the beginning of the transfer window. You know, we said, "Oh, there's a player called Isac. Will we go for him?" No, he's not this. He's not that.
So this is. Do you think this has happened suddenly after Wilson injury?
Yeah.
So is Eddie Howe didn't expect that Wilson will get an injury, will pick up an injury?
No, I don't think he'd expect him to get one which was going to be so problematic. I mean, we knew Wilson gets injured, but a hamstring injury can take a long time to heal.
Yeah, that's a month.
That's
a month at least.
You know, so and can we put him in a game against Liverpool or against Man United where he's only half fit? No, we need somebody who's going to be fully fit, fully ready. And what makes it difficult for Wilson or any striker for our owns, he play alone in the center forward. Yeah,
which all the interfering with the defenders, it must be a big opportunity to pick up injuries if you are the only striker. If you have another striker with you, this is, you know, you can make it easy because this will release the pressure upon you. طبعا يعني اعتقد ديف انه يعني فجأة رحنا طبعا ايزاك ارتبطنا فيه سابقا، لكن يعني كان من اللاعبين يعني اللي تم ربطنا فيه من بداية الميركاتو، لكن اللاعب يعني الآن بعد إصابة ويلسون تحرك نيوكاسل بسرعة، باقي كم يوم وتنتهي سوق الانتقالات. لكن أنا سأل ديف قلت إنه يعني إيدي هاو ما توقع إنه ويلسون راح يصاب. يعني إحنا عارفين ويلسون مهاجم وحيد يلعب بطريقة لعبه، يعني تكلمنا عنها كثير في الحلقات السابقة، إنه اللاعب يعني طريقة دخوله مع اللاعبين، استخدامه لجسمه في اللعب، والسبرنتات اللي يسويها طول الانطلاقات اللي من الصفر، يعني انطلاقات اللي يسويها طول المباراة، هذه تؤدي للإصابة بشكل كبير. عنده الحين عضلة الهامسترنج، عضلة الفخذ الخلفية، هذه دائما ما يعني 3 أسابيع 4 أسابيع، هذه إذا كانت يعني الإصابة خفيفة جدا جدا جدا. فمستغربين من إيدي هاو، يعني معقول ما توقع. شفنا احنا يعني كريس وود، يعني ما هو المهاجم يعني اللي يعني يغطي خانة فقط، ما هو ذاك المهاجم اللي أنت تعتمد عليه ويصنع لك فرص. حسب ما نشوف من ايزاك وشفناه سمعنا عنه انه لاعب حتى يمكن يصنع فرص لنفسه، يعني من شدة يعني من المدح اللي يجيه يعني، لكن شفنا احنا المقاطع. انا ما تابعته تحديدا. صديق لي برشلوني قال لي انه سجل هدف علينا اليوم، قال لي هذا الكلام، فانه لاعب يعني لسه الاسبوع الماضي. طيب Dave, let's pick up some question as we have some here.
Yeah.
جوزيف الرشيدي يقول السلام عليكم. Is Isaac deal done or still?
I think it's still ongoing because the agents are actually our people are in Spain at the moment, so it hasn't been finalized, but I think the deal's been agreed. I think we've agreed the money. It's now just agreeing player terms and the tying up loose ends. I think we'll just wait and see with if it's announced later on. But it seems to be everybody seems to think it's a done deal. The only thing where it hasn't been mentioned is on NUFC. You know, I just think he's a sort. If we need him, we'll go for him now because we've got Wolves coming up at the weekend, and then we've got Liverpool coming up in the next few weeks as well. So we're going to have to be pretty much on my game. Next home game is in 2 weeks' time against Crystal Palace. So there's a good chance we can pick up some good points in the next couple of games. So let's get in a player like Isac. You know, he's got a proven goal scoring record. He's only 22. He's a young player. So again, we're paying for youth. We're not paying £70 million for a 30-year-old like Man United. You know, Casemiro.
Yeah, look to Tony Brentford, how he gets better.
Yeah, Tony's getting better, but Brentford put such a high price on him now. There's no chance of getting Tony.
No, I mean in case of progressing of the player.
Oh yeah, he's progressed a long time. You know, he has come on since he left Newcastle. You know, he has played through the leagues. You know, Peterborough and then Brentford. You know, he's done the business. So let's hope, you know, with a 22-year-old such as Isac, you know, he's a Swedish international at 22 as well. So he's obviously got a proven track record. So,
but you know what make me always wondering in the Spanish league, why he didn't go to Real Madrid or Barcelona or Atletico Madrid or Villarreal, or, you know, and from Real Sweden.
One of our best players that we ever had, who only lasted a season, was Mikel Merino, and Mikel Merino plays for Real Sociedad. He's a fantastic player, fantastic skills. He's the sort of player constantly coming up bringing. Could we bring him back? You know, he's now more of an accomplished player. Merino is a fantastic player, but why didn't he go to one of the big clubs?
No, I mean, why that? Yeah,
but it's just one of those things. There's not always there's not always a place for everybody in the big teams, which is why you always say, if you got a chance to play for Newcastle, when you're going to get a game, or where you're going to get a game you're going to play for Chelsea, when you might only play once every 3 weeks. You know, that's the same thing with players like Isac and Merino and other players like that, who have gone to smaller Spanish clubs because they know they'll get a game.
طبعا انا سألت ديف يعني انه ليش اللاعب ما راح مثلا او اهتموا فيه الانديه الاسبانيه القويه الاخرى. قال انه يعني ما لقى فرصه او ما يناسبون اللاعب، او مثل في تخمه من اللاعبين، يمكن اللاعب يبغى يلعب اساسي، وما ننسى برضه المقابل المالي اللي لازم تقدمه لسويداد. Trolls here says he still think Pedro will come. Junior Turner saying Talksport Paquita undergo medical on Friday.
Rubbish. Sorry, Junior. That's just not true at all. Paquita's nowhere near London. His agents are in London trying to discuss a deal. Moyes wants more players signed, but Paquita's not in London. If anything,
no. But you said the agents in London.
The agents are in London, but they're not there to sign with West Ham. They want Paqueta to go to a Premier League club. They want to negotiate with a Premier League club. They haven't said which Premier League club. All they've said is that West Ham. All that's been said is West Ham has put a bid in, and I think that could be one-upmanship from West Ham to try and get their name ahead of everybody else by saying, "Oh, we want him, we want him, we want him." But we've been saying we want him all season, all close season. So he'll probably going to sign for a Premier League club in the next week or so before the transfer window closes. But that's not necessarily going to be West Ham. And TalkSport should be called Talk Shite, because that's what they do.
طيب, how do you think Paqueta will go?
Where do I think he'll go? I honestly want him to come to Newcastle. I don't want him going to West Ham.
Yeah, where do you think? Where? Tottenham? No. Arsenal?
Possibly. Arsenal? Possibly.
Arsenal. Okay.
Yeah. There's a possibility it's going to be one of those teams. But Tottenham and Arsenal have got a settled team at the minute. And bringing in somebody else might upset the way they're playing. And they're doing quite well at the moment. I think if it comes down to it, I think it'll come down to teams like Newcastle, West Ham, Chelsea, because Chelsea are just buying everybody at the minute. Chelsea are just spending the money like it's going out of fashion.
Could be, and I'm just funny thinking. It could be the agent come to London just to pretend that London clubs are intact, are in touch.
Yeah.
اوكي, ممكن نظريه انه ممكن الايجنت يتمشى في لندن يعني علشان يقول يعني شوفوا ترى باكيتا يعني يتم التفاوض مع الانديه. ممكن, ليش لا. فيصل have a theory here, says I expecting Pedro, it's already done because the fast change of direction to finish the striker, that means Pedro deal is done. That's why we went for Isac quickly. What do you think? I'm supporting فيصل, يعني أنا معك فيصل, بس ديف ما متفق معنا. What do you think, Dave?
But like I said, we've got to look at the money situation. We've got to think if we've got a certain amount to spend, and we're bringing in two players, would it not be better to bring in the striker that we need and the defensive midfielder that we need? Do we need another number 10? Yes, I agree with what Trill said before about that Murphy is championship at best. And he's going to be on the bench. It's going to be between Almiron and Maxi, who's going to play up at the front. Maxi probably more than what Almiron would, because you get more out of Maxi than what you will out of Almiron. Almiron's got a lot of running, and he gets us in the positions. But if we're going to go for a number 10, then just keep it the way it is. See what happens in the winter break. I can't see we're spending £150 million on 3 players in the next 2 weeks, next 8 days.
هو يحسبها ماديا برضو, يقول لك يعني الحين هذا مثلا ب60 70 جوا بيدرو 30, هذه 100 مليون فجأة كذا في يومين, يعني في داوت. لكن انا معك يا فيصل. عموما نشوف. انا ليش انا قاعد احلل الموضوع. بيدرو 20 او 21 سنه, ايزاك 22 سنه, فلما تجيب لاعبين صغار في السن انت ناوي برضو تبيعهم مبلغ عالي اذا مثلا ما توفقوا معاك, او اذا طلبتهم انديه كبيره بمبالغ اعلى, وتستفيد انت ماديا في دخول وخروج اللاعبين. عكس لما تجيب لاعب مثلا عمره 28 وتجيبه مبلغ كبير, هتتعب مثلا لما تصرف اللاعب. هذه مجرد نظريه. طيب, ممكن انا اسال ديف هذه النظريه. ديف, I just said that maybe this is just يعني my deep analysis, bringing number 10 who is 20 years old or 21 years old with a striker 22 years old, That's mean they are come to maybe if they succeed, they will continue. If you want to get rid of them, you can't sell them. They are still young.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they bring those young lads.
I hope you're right. I hope there is something there with Pedro and Isac up front. But at the same time, while we're bringing in young players, we do have to bring in players who've got experience, or players who've got like an older head on their shoulders. You can't have too many young'uns up front because young'uns don't always make the grade, you know. We've had those players in the past. We've had the same way we've had other players in the past who just don't normally shine through long enough. So I don't think it'll happen, but I'd be pleased if it did. I'd be happy if it did, because we're signing quality players. I think that's as best as I can go. And sorry, Junior, you're listening too much to Talk Sport, mate. You need to get off that channel. If that channel's got nothing but bad words to say about Newcastle, so don't even listen to them. Get off them. A Wall's End lad, listening to Talk Sport. Hey, give it up, lad. Give it up.
جميل هذه الأخبار فعلا حمدان. Junior Turner, who's our reporter for today, accordingly, James Maddison is wanted before Bakita at Newcastle, and expect Bakita for West Ham medical, but Dave not agree and advise us.
I watched a bit of Maddison playing last night against a lower division team, and he struggled against this lower division team last night, and I thought, and then he missed a penalty in the penalty shootout. And I just thought, oh no, please, but there's more chance of us getting Jack Harrison from Leeds than getting Maddison, I think.
طبعا جاك هاريسون يعني انه يشوف ديف انه عندنا فرصه اكثر من انه يجي ماديسون. هاريسون لاعب ليدز الجناح الايمن. He's a right winger, Harrison, right?
Yeah.
Or left?
He's all over the place. But the thing is, apparently there was supposed to be an increased bid going in today for him, but nothing come from that story. But he doesn't want to leave Leeds, but he may not have any options.
Hamdan saying Isaac should be the striker just right after Wilson. يعني he mean he should be play, not Chris Wood.
No.
معك هو حمدان.
Agree with that.
Need to see him holding the shirt. All that's done. Club had doctor on standby yesterday to fly anywhere.
Yeah, and he's probably in Spain.
Why? The doctor for medical?
For medical, yeah.
Okay. Really, that could happen?
Could happen. Wouldn't be for a full medical, but it would be a quick check, just to make sure the deal can go through. Make sure he hasn't got COVID or something like that.
All right. This is hard question by Hamdan. What is you expected to the deal to be announced?
That's $1 million question, $6 million question. They don't know. The whole deal this month, come out of the blue, just suddenly, the same way that happened, the same way the official announcement will happen. I've got the.
But I can answer this. Definitely before 1st of September. قبل 1 سبتمبر يعني أكيد. إذا في صفقة بتعلن فيه. How much is Bakita cost really?
Well, the deal that West Ham have got is 40 million euros, which is 34.5 million pounds. That to me is low, because we were being quoted 40 million pounds, which I think is about 50 million euros. So I think the price will go up a bit yet. I don't think Leon will accept 40 million euros. I think there'll definitely have to be an increased bid if anybody wants him. But to me, I think we've got to go. We've got to go for Paqueta. We cannot let Paqueta, if people of his quality, go to West Ham. You know, he's better. He's better than that. He's better than West Ham. You know.
Yeah. So you think he cost £50 million?
And I think it cost between 50 and 60 million euros, which would be about 45 million pounds. I think we can get him possibly for that.
اي طبعا جوني ديف يقول لي عن تقريبا يعني السعر الان اللي ممكن يروح فيه ويست هام حسب الاخبار قيمته الحقيقيه 45 مليون باوند، يعني تقريبا 50 الى 60 مليون يورو. لكن هو ما يتوقع انه بيروح ويست هام. الله يبارك فيك، لكن نقول ان شاء الله طبعا هي congratulate Newcastle fans and he's happy with the performance first half against City. I think Paqueta bonus best mate. Yeah, but I think if they went to Paqueta, we should. We have our time with Paqueta. It's not we are gonna have him at last day, but who knows? Let's see. Now it's gonna be crazy days. I think the last days of Mercato is best days ever. افضل وقت للميركاتو اللي هو الوقت يعني اخر السوق. maximum to Manchester United. This is يعني just play very good and they already make transfer him to another club. Any comment, Dave, about maximum to Manchester United?
No, not happening. Not happening.
ما راح لن يحدث هذا الشيء يا زياد. We need defense midfielder. Can we buy or no? Or we pass? Or we don't have time for it?
Wait, if we buy Paqueta, then I think we could probably use either him or Bruno as the defensive midfielder and just in front of the back four, because he did a good job there the other day. So I think we could probably utilize if we could utilize Paqueta and Bruno. We'll tear the midfields apart. We will tear midfields apart with them two. One winning the ball and one taking it forward, bringing in Joe Linton, and I think there's a good chance. We could have both of them. It'd be amazing.
ديف طبعا يقول انه صعب جدا نجيب محور الان، يعني شفنا احنا الوضع والايام ولسه عندنا مشاكل في الوسط والجناح والمهاجم. تجيب محور انت جايب 3/4 الفريق كذا. لكن لو قصد انه لو جبنا لاعبين وسط مثلا زي باكيتا، هذا الشيء بيساعد برونو، جولينتون وشون ستاف، يعني يساعدنا كثير في الوسط، يخفف الضغط والحمل عن برونو. exactly trolls. ان شاء الله ما راح يطلع. عليكم السلام. اي تكلمنا عنه فيصل بالعربي والانجليزي. has same level of awareness as Bruno, not just their link to each other. His Eminence watched him for a long time.
Yeah.
It's 70 million question, not 6.
Yeah, that's what you've got to look at. You've got to think if we're spending 58 million pounds on Isac, 30 million pounds on Pedro, forget Pedro, and then we're talking another 60 million for Bruno. You're talking 150 million pounds in the next 8 days. I know PIF sponsor Newcastle, or they own Newcastle, and we've got a lot of money coming available to us. But will they want that much layout without any comeback, without any? We're playing Tranmere tonight. If we get knocked out against Tranmere tonight, that's one less trophy we're going for again. You know, we have to see something coming back for the money that's been invested. Yeah, we've got full stadium. We've got better deals coming on board for sponsorship and stuff like that. So, you know, but PIF and will not be digging into their pockets endlessly like Man City have, like Todd Bowley at Chelsea has. You know, I don't know how Chelsea can spend so much money when last season or the season before they were done for the financial fair play. They'd spent too much money. You know, Nottingham Forest spending more money than they make. How are this? How can they buy 16 players that they've bought and the money that they've brought in on a ground that only holds 26,000 supporters? You know, again, there's some weird dealings going on. Yet, you know, even us being the most richest club in the world, we're still being careful about how we spend our money. And we will need to be careful how we spend our money and making sure we bring in the players who are going to last for the next 5 years. You know, that's hope, like, you know, the Pedros and Isacs are the deals that will keep us there, and we won't have to spend money in the future. But I guarantee we'll have to.
طبعا
money.
يتمنى طبعا ديف انه لما يجيب لاعبين انه يستمرون على الاقل 5 سنوات، يكونوا جيدين من فيه الكفايه للاستمرار 5 سنوات. ويعتقد انه مثلا ايزاك وجواو بيدرو مثلا اذا جو نيوكاسل يعني مراكز حساسه في الفريق ممكن تستمر فتره طويله يعني معاهم. ومع يعني يقول لك هو ما يعتقد انه ممكن يدفعون اكثر من كذا، لكن قد يضطرون يعني انه يعني صعب جدا. يعني هذا الوقت الان هو وقت شايفين الفرق كيف تتنافس. يعني لما تدفع في سنه 100 مليون 200 مليون مو معناتها انه السنه الجايه ما تدفع، برضو لازم تستمر تدفع. Isn't it great to have transfer window like this after 13 years?
It's brilliant.
If we go Isaac, Paquita and Pedro another, we won't need the intermarket in January. Invest now or miss out.
Yeah,
that's good thinking.
Good point.
Yeah, we went to practice in Saudi Arabia in January.
We certainly don't want the best players to go to teams like West Ham. You know, we can't stop players going to teams like Man City and Man United and Chelsea because they're one of the greedy six. They're the greedy six. But to let somebody of Paquita's ability go to a team like West Ham, who I don't rate anywhere near Newcastle, you know, we've always got the better of them. We've always been better than them.
Dave, why Saint Maximin? He play good, the rumors just starts. He play bad, the rumors starts that he will leave. Yani they want to get to. So I believe, without mentioning any names, because the fans, I'm sure they know the names. I saw some journalists have something personal with Saint Maximin.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people got personal issues with Saint Maximin. A lot of people have got, you know,
I'm talking journalists.
The majority of people actually love Maxi. You know, the majority of people love Maxi. Maxi's going nowhere. Maxi loves Newcastle. Maxi will go nowhere unless he falls out with Eddie Howe. Unless he falls out with the club, he's going nowhere. He's got
طالما ماكسي يعني محبوب في نيوكاسل، طالما ماكسيمان مع يطبق ما يطلبه منه المدرب إيدي هاو وإدارة نيوكاسل فهو باقي. نيوكاسل goal easy to reach what Eddie Howe needs to solve this problem. الله يبارك فيك. Congratulations Isaac. يعني الله يبارك فيك، بس يعني still not officially yet. وليد أخبار آدم الإنجليزي خوينا؟ ما أدري، أنت تسألني أو تقول لي عبد الله ما أدري إذا في شيء ترسل لي. Our owners has probably seen that if we get injuries, we are weaker for it and don't have much quality. Okay, in the bench, Saint Maximin left the club and City, so can't see him go at all. Do you think Eddie Howe can really fight the top 6 this season? Abu Sara say.
I think we've proved that we're a match. We can be a match for teams like Man City. We're going to have.
تعادلنا مع بطل الدوري.
Yeah, and I
We
think
draw with the title winner.
Yeah, we draw with the title winners, you know, and that's why they won the title, because they can play football like that. They can play football like when they were 3-1 down. I knew it wasn't over. I was hoping it was over, but I knew. But Man City got that in them. They've got that ability in them, you know, to turn a game around within minutes. And 2 fantastic passes that, you know, cut the defense wide open. You know, the balls were through and you couldn't do anything about them. So that's Man City. But we lived with Man City. We played Man City at their game, and we got the better of them. We did Arsenal at the end of last season. We've got Liverpool coming up. That'll be another test. But those tests is one thing. We have to play better than we did when we went to Brighton. Brighton wasn't a good game for us. We didn't do as well as what we should have done. Maybe it's because players thought it was going to be easier. But we've got to go to places like Wolves. We've got Wolves this week. We've got Crystal Palace the week after that. Now
Liverpool.
That's 6 points. That's 6 points in the bag for us. If we can get that 6 points, then we've got a fantastic start of the season. Then we've got Liverpool. You know, so you know, I can't see why we can't. I can't see why we can't push for certainly a top 7 place, get into the European Conference. You know, get into the top 7. You know, it'll be brilliant for our first season under new owners. It'll be fantastic, and you'll honestly get thousands and thousands of Newcastle supporters traveling across Europe just to see Newcastle play, because that's the way we are.
سون
yeah.
اتمنى ان شاء الله نيوكاسل يعني قريبا ينافس الانديه الاوروبيه مو بس توب 6. صديقنا طيب. Naif asking a lot of question for you today, Dave. This from Naif says, are we moving from Bakita completely?
No.
لا لسه في أمل.
I just think West Ham have got off the mark because they want to be seen to be the team that's put in the first bid, the first official bid. But that's not. I don't think we've moved away from that. I just think we've been caught. We've been caught off guard by West Ham's move.
Why move? Why West Ham did this? Do you think they can get him?
No.
Or they just try?
I just think they're trying. They've just
مجرد محاولة. وست هام ما يعتقد أبدا ديف إن بكيت راح يروح وست هام.
Well, they've just signed a player from who they signed? Emerson Palmieri. They've just signed him on a 4-year deal from Chelsea. So, you know, Chelsea.
He's a striker.
Palmieri, you know, he's a defender.
جابوا مدافع وست هام من تشيلسي. بالميري يمكن من أحد المدافعين الشباب في تشيلسي. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, with players like this, West Ham have got off to a bad start. The bottom of the Premier League at the moment. Their fans will not like that. Their fans are like ours, very passionate. They will not like the fact that they're bottom of the league, and they will demand that they spend money. Now, have West Ham got money? I'm not too sure, because David Gould and the other guy, I can't remember his name, their owners, they're not that rich. They're not billionaires. They haven't got that money coming into the club. They have to buy players when they sell players. So they're going to have to sell players before they can buy.
Okay, yeah. شوف حتى وست هام ما قدروا يجيبون لينجارد، فصعب حتى يجيبون يعني ما يعني مجرد محاولة، إن ضبطت يعني ما لازم يعني وست هام الآن لازم يبيع علشان يشتري، هذا قصد ديف. Isaac could score 20 goals, more than 20 goals this season.
No, I think he'll be in the teens. If he comes with us, he'll be in the teens. He'll probably score between 13 and 19 goals. I can't see him getting 20 because there'll be other players wanting to get goals as well. I'd like to see we're signing another 20 goal a season striker.
Maybe if you start the season, maybe. But
if he'd start the season, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many.
Okay.
He scored against Barcelona the other night. He scored a good goal against Barcelona the other night. But yeah, he's a good striker. He's good with his head, and that's what we like.
عدد اللاعبين صار كبير. مين راح يخرج من الفريق؟ محمد believe that the squad number is high, so who's getting out? A lot of players getting out.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? There's a lot of players. There'll be a lot of players being shown the door. Players like Manquillo and Fabrice Fernandez, Lewis, Murphy. I think they'll be players that may be shown the door. I think we've still got some players who we can get rid of, but those players are going to be playing tonight against Tranmere. Now, a lot of those players will be putting themselves in the window to try and say, I can stay, I want to stay. But your Richies will go, your Frasers will go, Chris Wood might go. Let's just see how that happens, because, like I said, we've got to announce a 25-man squad fairly soon. I think it's a week's time. So those players who we need to get rid of have to be got rid of. Whether it's on loan or whether it's sold, we'll need them off the books.
طبعا في مباراة اليوم ترانمير مع روفرز في كأس الكرباف. طبعا عندنا تغطية خاصة اليوم إن شاء الله بعد المباراة مع مستر إل إن شاء الله اليوم بالليل، حلقة بالعربي يعني كاملة. طبعا ديف يقول إنه المباراة هذه راح يلعب فيها الفريق الثاني في الفريق، وحسن الحظ إن الفريق الثاني هو الفريق الأول كان في نيوكاسل. Dave, it's look like the second team of Newcastle actually was the first team, almost the first team last season.
Last season it was, yeah. You look at that, and that's exactly what it's like. You're talking players like Richie will play tonight. You'll probably get the Longstaff. You'll get Longstaff where he'll be playing, and Fraser. Unless I think Fraser's slightly injured, but there's a doubt because he picked up that injury in warm up on Sunday. But there'll be certainly a few players in that team tonight who would have been regulars in the first team last season, and the season before, and this season before that, and this season before that. So yeah. But they're undecided who they'll play in goal. They're not sure whether they'll play some young kid they've got, or whether they'll play Gillespie or Dubravka. But you don't want to be risking injuries. If Pope's got an injury, you don't want to be risking Dubravka getting an injury
exactly
against this team. So it would suggest to me that Gillespie will probably play tonight.
ممكن يلعب الحارس الثالث جيلسبي لأنه بوب أصيب، فما يبغى يغامر يهاوي يلعب دوبرافكي احتياط يعني عشان ما نتورط في الدوري. فهذه وجهة نظر قد تحدث. ديف يقول Stapleton it says conclusion, do you think Maxi can go to France? For me, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Look to Benzema, how he did to go there.
Yeah,
finally
I think he's starting to prove himself that he's a fast player. He's strong. He can take players on. Whether he's that sort of player that France need, but he could change a game for France. Because France are like the slow build-up, slow, get the ball in the box. They're not a speeding team. They're not like we get the ball to Maxi and Maxi will race down the pitch. They're not like that, But I think I think there's a good chance he could go in the World Cup squad. I think he could certainly be a backup player for France, definitely.
Johnny says, Waleed, I want you to tell Dave that he's really and the best thing and like about Newcastle fans that they have reason of the they are reasonable, high thinking regarding the team, getting slowly improvement, gradually.
Yeah.
Different, opposite than other teams, which is known they just bring names without any clear vision.
Yeah, you look at that, the way Chelsea are going on. You look at Man United paying £70 million for a player, Casemiro. He's 30-year-old. Now, he might be able to do it in the Spanish league as a 30-year-old, but in a fast-paced Premier League, I don't think that's £70 million down the drain to me. You know, he's a great player, but I would never have paid £70 million for him. No way.
Well, I bet to differ, but let's see.
Yeah, no, but you look, he's 30-year-old, and he's played in a Mickey Mouse league, same as what Isac is. And you look at Isac, you know, he's 22-year-old. He's young, he's fit. He'll fit in the Premier League. Whereas Casemiro, he'll get nobbled. He'll get nobbled straight away. People think, I'm going to take him out, you know. He'll get nobbled. But, you know. So
Keith Downey is broadcasting from his garden. Listen.
Hey, it's not that sunny, you know. He's a brave man. It's not that sunny.
Okay. That's brilliant. Yeah.
So yeah, he said it's on the brink of completion, so
okay. Anything on Bakita? Okay, we just talk about this, mate. All the shows about Bakita. Keith, not rolling out Pedro. Okay, what's that mean?
Keith Downey.
Okay. Yeah, not rolling out Pedro. What's that supposed
Not really. There's still a chance we could sign him.
Yeah, of course.
That's what he's in.
Well, I believe in Romano for many reasons, because he's so accurate from what he writes, and he do that with his tweet, because a lot of them are maybe from others, but this one he really take it personally from the horse mouth, as you always George says. So I'm sure he been in contact with Watford officials.
Oh, he'll have been in contact with. I can guarantee he'll have been in contact with Amanda and Mirdad, you know. And the fact is, what was good on Sunday was that His Royal Highness was there. What do you call him? Forgetting his name. When you was Mr. Al-Rumian, he was here he was at the ground on Sunday. Now, if he's come over, he's probably come over to sanction the signing of the deals. So let's hope that's what he came for.
Okay. Tota says, Waleed, Newcastle need a leader on the midfield. Can be the maestro. I think we have Bruno. You didn't watch Bruno before?
Yeah.
شفتم Bruno هو القائد صراحة. I think يعني in the midfield he's the leader in midfield. Bruno. Agree, Dave?
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. No, Don, it's okay. Feel free, but I'm just trying to catching on. Was it Bruno bought as CDM?
Yeah.
Yes, but he's a defense midfielder.
Yeah. That's what a CDM is. That's what a CDM is. Central defensive midfielder. So yeah, that's where he's playing. But we need somebody else in midfield. And I think if you've got Paqueta, you've then got two players who've got such a good understanding, because you've got Shelby out for a long time. And then when Longstaff came on Sunday, I mean, Joe Willock had a half decent game, but he kept giving the ball away. And then when Longstaff came on, I don't think he touched the ball. You know, Longstaff and Willock are probably at best squad players. They're going to be squad players. You know, I think if we can bring in Paqueta to play in front of Bruno or alongside each other, our midfield will be set. Joe Linton, Paqueta, and Bruno, the Brazilian, the three Brazilians, you know, it'll be brilliant.
And I think the way he played with Joe Linton really covered the defense midfielder very well.
He did it well.
And as you said, Dave, if we have Paqueta or someone in his level with them in the midfield, it's going to be different.
Yeah,
much better different.
Yeah.
طيب. There is a chance to sign Ibrahim Sangari. He's a defense midfielder, I think, in Dutch league.
Yeah, never heard anything about Sangari. Not since before.
ما أكيد ارتبط أبدا في نيوكاسل يعني، لكن ما تدري. No, what is done. Establishment, feel free to do anything you like. Don't mind at all. نايف، هل يعتقد ديف أن مستوى الفريق بسبب حماس؟ Okay, this is a good question. Naif asking, do you think, Dave, this good performance is only because the excitement of the players to guarantee a spot in the lineup?
Tonight's game, or the game that went by?
I mean in general, the performance so far. Is it because the team, he's just exciting, they want to prove themselves?
Yeah. You know,
I think this is not only.
No, the team that played on Sunday have proved themselves very worthy. They're a good bunch of lads. They play well together. There is room for improvement, but at the same time, you've got the game tonight against Tranmere. You'll have the same passion, I would hope, from those players. Because they need to prove themselves, because they want to say, I want to be part of that team on Sunday. I want to be there, you know. But I think there's a few players in there who might be playing there who might not make it. You know, Matt Targett's still going to come back. Matt Targett's going to be in the starting lineup when he's fit. Elliot Anderson is expected to get a start tonight. So Anderson, he's another one for the future. Will he stay in either squad? There's a good chance he'll probably go off on loan, on a season-long loan to another club. But yeah, the players are starting to prove themselves.
You know, why Anderson? Why Elliot? He didn't get a chance against City. I think we needed him.
Yeah, but you know, we had more experience with Chris Wood.
No.
You know, Chris Wood has got
Jacob Murphy.
experience.
Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, but Murphy's got more experience as well. You know, and the fact is that Wood came on as a replacement for Wilson because he had that Premier League experience. And he couldn't bring Anderson on because he just hasn't got that sort of experience to deal with the players such as the defenders from Man City. You know, so I think it was right that they brought Wood on, but I think it's right that Elliot Anderson should get his chance to start tonight. Certainly get his chance to start tonight.
طبعا أليسون يعني إليت أندرسون المفروض يشارك اليوم، يعتقد ديف إنه ما شارك بسبب الخبرة. عموما سؤالك نايف يعني إنه فعلا هذا يعتقد ديف إنه فعلا كلامك صحيح، لكن برضو إليهاو له دور كبير في الموضوع، يعني مو بس فقط الحماس أكيد يمكن الشيء رقم واحد، أنا أعتقد فأتفق معاك. عبد الله he wish Willock to go out. He doesn't like Willock. Willock he's you know, he's like sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. I don't know. It's weird with Willock.
Yeah, exactly. He's when
Moody player.
When he first came, You know, he was something we needed. He was a breath of fresh air. But since then, he hasn't actually performed as well as what he could do. And I think the amount of work that our players are expected to put in, I don't think he's up to it. I don't think he's ready for that. I think the same thing goes for Longstaff. They're just not ready. They're just not up for putting in a lot of hard work, a lot of running. And I think Maxie's starting to come good on that. Maxie's starting to do a lot more running and running back. He still can get a bit lazy, and if he loses the ball, he lies on the ground, throws his hands up in the air. He still has moments like that, but there's other moments when he's lost the ball and he's come chasing back more than what he's used to. So the message starting to get through to Maxie that he's got to do a lot more work, because that's what Almiron did. And Almiron, he's become a much better player than what he was last season. So yeah.
طبعا عبد الله ديف يعني يقول ولك يعني ما هو واضح انه ما هو قاعد يعني يشتغل على نفسه مثل الدرجه الثانيه. في لاعبين زي ماكسيمان، جولينتون، شفنا كيف تطوروا، والميرون تطوروا يعني وبذلوا جهد اكثر على انفسهم. ولك يعني يرى انه كسول، يعني يلعب خلص نفس اداءه، ما تحس انه يبذل جهد اكثر يعني. فهي حسب، انا اشوفه مزاجي برضه، انا رايي انه مزاجي، لاعبين مزاجيين اعتقد. هو لسه صغير في السن، قليل الخبره، احيانا يمكن ما تدري ظروف اللاعب. انا قلت ما يسر الفريق لان الفريق متقدم 3-1 ودقائق قليله يتعادل، معناته الفريق لاعب خبره للقاء. طبعا صحيح هذا الكلام، لكن الفريق تاخر ورجع تعادل لانه ما في احتياط. الحين دوري انجليزي 5 لاعبين احتياط، يعني يمديك عندك 5 تبديلات، لكن نيوكاسل البديل ضعيف اللي عنده. فانت لو عندك بدلاء مستواهم عالي يجارون المستوى اللاعبين الفريق الاول، كان يمكن ما كان حافظنا على التقدم. هذه المشكله. لكن استنزف الفريق لياقيا. انت مستحيل تلعب مع السيتي ب 11 لاعب وما تغير، ولما تغير لازم تجيب لاعبين بنفس المستوى. شوفوا مثلا السيتي، شاف اكي اللاعب اللي انا اشوفه يعني ما ادري يعني كيف اصلا في السيتي، جاب لعب دياز بداله. اذا طلع مثلا فودن دخل محرز، يعني لاعب الاحتياطي يمكن افضل من الاساس. فهنا الفرق، وهذا سبب التقدم. Willick isn't quite clicking yet. when John he will click. This is the time for clicking.
Yeah, it's time of clicking.
time clicking. yeah. نستطيع الآن نرى نيوكاسل يهاجم ويفتح الملعب دون الحاجة إلى لعب دفاع في حال Okay, أبو سارة says, do you think now Newcastle with this signings, if we get Pedro and Isaac, that we're going to be openly to attack more than just defense?
No, I think you've got to be strong defense as well as attack. So
no, he will open the field, you think, or he will
I don't think it'll make much difference. I think what you'd have a decent centre forward playing either alongside Wilson or instead of Wilson. Hopefully he's going to play alongside Wilson, and it may be that we may have to expect to get better balls into the box. So, but I don't think it's going to open up the midfield unless we get a decent another decent midfielder. So
طبعا يشوف ديف انه احنا ما زلنا نجي، يعني ما زلنا نلعب لعب يعني شفت اللعب امام السيتي كيف كان متوازن بين الدفاع والهجوم. ما اعتقد انه والله احنا جبنا مثلا يعني صعب نقول اسماء معينه الان يعني، لكن لو ما جبنا مثلا والله يعني لاعب في مثل كريستيانو رونالدو ميسي في عزهم مثلا وقلنا يعني قدام يعني لسه. جوني طبعا sorry Dave.
You mentioned Ronaldo. Rumors are he's got to Marseille. Marseille, yeah.
Really? Marseille, Ronaldo. No, I was talking about that we didn't have a player like Ronaldo and Messi in their prime to make the play open as according to you.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did with Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne against us the other day. They had that player and you could play the ball through to Gundogan. You know them goals they scored where they just passed the ball through, the ball that through the defence, and if it hadn't been for Pope, we could have conceded a lot more with them sort of passes. You know what I mean? They caught us right square. But yeah, we need a Messi, we need a Ronaldo. I wouldn't buy either of them at the moment.
Johnny ask Dave. Okay, Dave. There is a player will leave. We already answered that. لكن جاوبنا هذا الشيء قبل شوي جوني، لكن يعني أكيد في لاعبين يعني مش ممكن يكونون خارج قائمة ال25، يعني ممكن مثلا أو يروحون إعارة. الحين الأسبوع الأخير توقعوا إعارات، هو وقت الإعارة. الحارس كان مرتبة كثير في كل هجمة، يعني بس أنت تلعب مع السيتي أقوى فريق في العالم. ايزاك ممتاز، عمره صغير بس. Wiz says 60 is too much for Isaac. I think the time play a role here.
Yeah, probably is too much. But that is, you know, you're talking £70 million for a 30-year-old who's a proven goal scorer, and you're talking 58-60 million pound for a 22-year-old who is also a proven goal scorer.
لا تنسى انه صغير في السن يوز يعني والوقت. We could have broken Anderson confidence if he play with City. No, I think he's ready for City or any team. I wish to have a chance. Really, you want to test a player, put him against a stronger team. Not in second division team.
Yeah, I agree with Trolls. We've had players in the past who've been labelled the next Paul Gascoigne or the next player or the next player, and they've gone on to play for the first team and they haven't done as well because they've had a bad game and they've wrecked their confidence. So yeah, Anderson's confidence could have been truly wrecked if we'd played him against Man City. Certainly for the 20 minutes that he would have been on the pitch for, because that's how long. 20 minutes, 15 minutes. That's how long Wood came on for, and play him tonight. Build his confidence up. Get him play tonight. Score a few goals tonight. You know, that could be exactly what he needs. You know.
ممكن اليوم إليوت لو يلعب مثلا في مباراة ويسجل أهداف يمكن هذا الشيء اللي يحتاجه. طبعا نسأل ديف يعني آخر سؤال يعني نختم الحلقة. Dave, last question before we leave. Too many questions. I apologize because Isaac مهاجم صريح. What expectation for the game tonight?
What expectation do I have? I think we'll win tonight. It'll be
goals. More goals. Heavy score. Heavy results.
I think we'll get a result. I'm not bothered how we'll get a result. I don't want to end up like Leicester struggling last night. Fulham got knocked out by a second division team. They got knocked out, you know, by Crawley, who weren't even in the football league last season. So where Fulham got knocked out.
في فرق انهزمت من فرق توها تصير محترفة يعني قصدي أو توها تصعد للدوري الرسمي الرابع الدرجة الرابعة يعني ما هم نتيجة همنا فوز يعني عشان يعني برضو كأس الكرباف طبعا اللي حققها ليفربول الموسم الماضي يعني نبغى على الأقل نروح مراحل متقدمة سواء كأس الكرباف أو طبعا كأس الاتحاد. طبعا كأس الكرباف هو اسم الشركة لكنه في الحقيقة كأس رابطة الأندية الإنجليزية. We would like to thank you, Dave, for this information you give us from Newcastle and keep us updated, please.
Yeah, we've got transfer centre on Sky at 5 o'clock. So if there's any further update, it'll be on there. I will monitor that. I will send you any videos that I can get for you.
Appreciate that. طبعا خلال نص ساعة راح تجي أخبار من سكاي منتظرة أخبار حديثة إن شاء الله نطلع لكم عليها أول بأول. Thank you for watching. Soon to be tuned. This is a great time for Newcastle. How are the lads? شكرا لكم. نراكم الليلة إن شاء الله مع مستر ال إن شاء الله بعد مباراة مباشرة. ليلة سعيدة.
Let's get ready.